Welcome to the Old Boar Plays Cities Skylines. This is a tutorial series for you to learn all about Railway 2 train networks. I'm putting in functioning railway infrastructure. And in this video, I'll give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to create your own custom platform stations. First, I want to change the orientation of this station so that I can take a line out of it into two new areas where I'm going to build little towns. I'm calling this town Airfield, and I'll be calling this town Fisherman Island. And I'll be putting in two custom platform stations, one here and one here. Normally I delete the line when I'm deleting a station. And if you're deleting a station permanently, delete the line first. But since I'm moving this, drag the line from where it is now to where the station's going to be. So in this case, I'll just delete the station. And I'll delete my tracks. And I'll take out the concourse in the same direction that my train tracks are coming in from downtown, about 30 units. You can see here's the train line that we just deleted. Now I'll put the station in again, and I'll choose Railway 2 USA 2x2 standard entry ground level. Now I'm going to come out 18 units using the dynamic 2x2. And we'll put on anarchy and untoggle road bending. Now I'll connect up the line. Create curve mode. Go to your transport menu. Now you'll see your line. Click train line again. We want to drag this stop holding down on the left mouse button. Now we've connected up our line again. We'll continue out with regular noted 2x2. I want to come into this little road as straight as I can. I'm going to have to trim this back because I want to raise this up 33 feet and force ground. I want to have enough room now. I'll force bridge with a straight track, and I'll put the pillar close to the road. You put it over the pedestrian path, the pillar won't come in. I'll put the other pillar in on the other side of the road, and I'll stretch it out about 6 units so that I get this little embankment almost on the same side. Now going to force ground again. I'll take this out, hit the home key to drop it down to ground level. If you want your embankments to be the same distance from the road, you'll have to move these with Move It. Hold down Alt, you can move these back. Then you'll want to take this segment and move it, and this one as well. I'll continue on with straight track. I'll bring this out a bit. And we'll clean these up with Set Slope Mode. Click your large segment, then click out, hit enter. I need about 10 units on this side in order for those embankments to be even. I'll force ground, come up to 33 feet, force bridge, put the pillar in, put another pillar in, come out a few units, then force ground and drop it back down to the ground. I'm going to put in my custom platform stations in the center of this town here and about there. And I'll leave a little bit of room so I can raise this up just a bit. Force ground. Raise it up to about 20 feet. Now I'll force bridge. When I come across, I want to lay this track down just about the same place the other one is across the cliff. And now force ground again. Bring this one out to ground level with the home key. You'll see that your 2 embankments are right on the cliff. Set slope mode. Click your large green pieces, hit enter. And now we'll clean these up. And I want to use the procedural track, the dynamic track, 18 units to bring in my station. I've downloaded the Invisible Train Station from the Steam Workshop. When you select it, you'll see the square piece. The 2 round ends are for the train tracks. The square piece is where your passengers are going to be standing waiting on the train. And I'll select my track, 2x2 standard entry ground level. In previous videos, I installed Railway to American concrete island station tracks, standard entry. You probably saw them in my menu. They don't have an ST here, they have an SP. Those are for concrete island stations, like the one we're going to put in. But I'm finding these work, and it cuts down on the number of assets and the number of icons in my train menu. So with my right mouse button, I'm going to flip this around and level it out, level to the train tracks, and pop it in. This is your train station, and on this side is where the passengers should be getting on and getting off of your platform. In order to see that, you need to do a few other things, because sometimes the game's AI will favor this other side for your train station platform and not this side. Now you'll need to download Railyard Station Platforms, Germany. And in your Find It, you'll type platforms. This is the German O, which is the old version, and this is the N, which is the new version. I like it better. We want to start in this center node of your crossover track and come out 1, 2, 3 clicks. And we'll start to lay this. We'll come out 18 units. You should see the white line on the platform pointing inwards towards your station. Your passengers should stand on this side of the white line while waiting on the train. Now we need to select the marquee tool. We need to select all 3 segments and all 4 nodes. Use your arrow keys to bring this in to your train tracks. You'll see that I have a little bit of space between the sleepers, the gray pieces, and my station. With Alt, holding down Alt, you can come in one more click with your right arrow key. This is about where you want to see your platform. Now, in order to bring passengers out here so we can get the correct height for this platform, we need to put in an asset. So with the 2-lane road, I'm going to come at this center node here and come all the way out. You can see the larger blue circle is giving me a little space to put a pedestrian path next to the platform. You also want some zoning squares to put in parking, because once we have a little town, people are going to want to park here to get to work. I'm going to take this little road out. I'm going to put in an asset that will bring in some tourists. I'm going to choose the Statue of Liberty. I think it'll look nice on this island here. And for the game's AI to understand we have something here to come see, we want to take the pedestrian path out of our station to this road. So the pavement path, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes on this platform. In this center node here, this is where your passengers are going to come into and go out of your little station. So we'll stretch a pedestrian path across to this road. In order for the game's AI to work correctly on the line we're going to create, we'll put in quickly the other station that's going to be for this little town. So I'll take out the track about here in the middle. And I want to take 2 segments out for my procedural track. Now I'll put in the 2x2 procedural track, 18 units. And the invisible station. You can flip this around if you want your station to come in on this side of the tracks. But I want mine to come in on this side. 2x2 standard entry ground level. Pop it in, and we'll add our procedural track on the other end. This is a train station, even though there's no assets here. So now we have a complete line all the way from the downtown and even this little town out here, Fairview Hills. In order for our train station stops to configure correctly, we want to configure this particular part of our train station in the downtown so that the game's AI knows where to put these stations. We'll open up Traffic Manager, Lane Connector, and we'll click this white circle here. The station underneath has already been configured. This one has not. And you'll see that that train went out from this all the way out to this. I'll left click here and left click again, and then I'll right click and left click and left click and right click. This is forcing the tracks to only go this direction. And I'll right click again and select this node, and I'll do the same on this side. Because we have all of our lines all put in for all of the stations that we want to use, we can make this train line much more efficient. You can see that our train lines have been disconnected there. We want to go to Lines Overview, and we're going to delete the Fairview Hills line and this yellow line, which was our airport line we created in the previous video. These two lines are coming in on this track from this area back in the other part of the game, these other cities. And we'll start at the end of the line here, and we'll create a new line. This is a bypass station, and the people are only lining up on this side. So I want to start the line here, and I'm going to create a stop at every station, going and coming. You'll notice that it automatically selects this side now at the downtown station. You can only select the right-hand side. If you'll notice, I'm hovering over these two, and there's no orange arrow coming in. I'm going to add a stop here, and then a stop at the airport. Now a stop at my other little town. You can see that it's selected this side and not this side. There is a mod called Advanced Stop Selection, formerly MTSE, which is Multi-Track Station Enabler. I haven't had much luck with it. You know how to use it? Leave a comment. I'd be happy to know. Now you can see the side we actually created the platform on is being selected by the game's AI. Now back at this station, I want to stop here as well. And I want to stop at the airport. You'll need to see that little icon blink. And because the red line is through it, means the line hasn't been completed. Now back at our downtown station, I've configured this and I want this to be on this side or this side. Not these two. You'll see that the orange arrow doesn't come in on either side of this part of the station. It only comes in here and here. I'm going to leave the center stop for a future line. So I'll click my stop here. See, at this station, I'm only allowed to put in the stop on this side. This helps train traffic. Had I not configured my downtown station, I could have stopped on this side here. And we'll complete the line. Pause our game. Don't click again with this selected. So I'll hit escape. Now I'll go to Lines Overview, and now I have a new train line. I'm going to call this Airport. And I'll configure it blue. Now we want to select our train. We'll go ahead and select the flirt. And now we'll go to line details and drop that number of trains down to about half. You can see we have quite a few people waiting around. So people can get off at any destination or get on at any destination because this is one continuous line, stopping all the way out to the Statue of Liberty at the end. Still need to do a lot of smoothing and detailing of these lines. It's still quite bumpy here. Hopefully we've got some tourists that are going to get off. We can see how our platform is leveled. Now you want to pause your game as soon as your tourists come off, and you can see that their feet are not showing here. So at this point, we want to use Move It. You can see we still have our platform selected. Now with the page down key, you want to page down until you can see the feet of your passengers. That's one click down. This one they're floating above just a bit. You can see their shoes. They're fine. Now we need to watch our passengers and see where they're going. They're going to clip through this. You know a way to keep them from clipping through there? Please let me know in the comments. Now that we know our station is functioning correctly and we've set up our path correctly, we're going to put in another asset called Station Shelters. Putting Find It, put in Station. We have several assets here. These are the shelters that have a little window in the top. These do not. And these are the end pieces. They're aesthetics, but you might like them. Now right over your platform, you'll see a center node there. I'm going to choose the green with the little window. You want to come out 3 or 4 units on either side. If you come out 4 units, the little window stretches, and so you might want to take off snapping. Looks like actually 5 units is opening that window as big as it gets. No, the window gets bigger as you stretch these across. We'll come across 4 units on this side, 4 units on this side. We'll put back snapping on and put on the end piece. The end piece goes all the way out to the end node. You can see we have several people coming out to the Statue of Liberty now. And I brought my road out this far away from the station to put in parking. This is parking lot 4x4 functional. I'm going to put one in here. And one in here. I'm also going to put in a little pedestrian path for them to get to these from the parking. You can drag a pedestrian path from here to the road as well. So your Sims can come from these surrounding neighborhoods and walk right up onto the platform. And of course, you leave some space here for some detailing. You can put shade trees in here for the cars. And you might want to remove the parking from this. And your Statue of Liberty has some parking. It might need some more. So now I know that my station is preferring this side. Now I could lay in my platform. I want to come from this crossover, out a few clicks, drag it 18 units. Make sure your white line is pointing towards the train. Now we'll move this in. I'm going to hold down Alt at this point and come in just 2 more clicks with the left arrow. I don't want my train touching the platform. And I also want to make sure that I see the shoes. And in this particular instance, platform is at the correct height. Now we can add in our shelters. Type station. And I'll show you what the different colors look like. This is the white color. This is the gray color. And this is the black color. Black color actually has an angled roof. You may prefer it. And here's your glass. Now, I've clicked Control Z and it deleted out that piece of the platform. You need that. And so you want to start all over with this. Just move your left arrow key. You'll notice that when you move the left arrow key, it's also moving the platform diagonally. So you can move your arrows up and back, bring those two nodes to the center of those crossovers again. I just alternated between those. I want to move it back away from the track. Check my feet. And see how close my train is. Here's where your pedestrian path needs to come off. You'll see these two blue nodes and then one right in the center. We don't have anything for the people to walk to. If you find that this isn't coming straight off of the platform, you can move it. It's not quite in the center this time. Thank you for watching This Old Boar Plays City Skylines. Take care now.